A reading from the Book of Wisdom. God did not make death, nor does he rejoice in the destruction of the living. For he fashioned all things that they might have being, and the creatures of the world are wholesome, and there is not a destructive drug among them, nor any domain of the netherworld on earth, for justice is undying. For God formed man to be imperishable. The image of his own nature he made him. But by the envy of the devil, death entered the world, and they who belong to his company experience it. The word of the Lord.
Our first reading for this Sunday comes from the Book of Wisdom. It starts plainly by saying, God did not make death. God is the Creator. So how can the Creator produce death? The Creator produces being, life. And so for this morning, let us reflect on the God who gives us life, and life that is the gift of God. So, the Book of Wisdom says categorically that life comes from God, and God is the giver of life. And so, in the plan of God for creating, especially human beings, death has no place in it. Human beings, according to the first reading, were created by God, or at least intended by God, to be imperishable. And this quality that human beings possess as living is due to the fact that of all creatures, human beings were created in the image and likeness of God. So, who could share in the very life and in the endurance of life that we associate with God? Human beings. So, this Sunday, we should celebrate life. We should celebrate our God who desires life for us and not our destruction. Now, but the fact of the matter is, we are confronted with death on a daily basis. And the first reading addresses that issue too. God is the giver of life. God is the Creator. Then, how come there is death? We find plants dying and withering. We find fruits dying. We find human beings being buried. So how come, if there is a Creator and life-giving God, how come there is death in the world? Now we know from the first reading that the answer does not come from a purely natural or physical understanding of life and death. According to the first reading, death enters through the devil. So it is not God who creates death. It is the enemy of God who created death. So here we are in a theological understanding of death, not a natural understanding of death. This is an understanding provided by faith. It is evil that goes against life. Wherever there is evil, prompted by the envy of the devil, the devil is envious of God. The devil is envious of God's power and dominion. And so the devil wants to destroy what God has built up. And wherever evil thrives, wherever sin thrives, there is death. Okay? So please, my brothers and sisters, we are not just here talking about the natural life or the natural death that we are used to. There is a deeper level of living, and it is to be in God's hands. To be rooted in God is to be alive. Not to depart from God is to sustain life. For God is the giver of life. and death is to side with the evil one, to destroy what God has created and what God takes care of. So you may be very healthy. No, we may be, perky, rosy cheeks. No, we can run up and down. But if we are governed by evil, we are dead. We have already entered the place of the dead. So, my dear brothers and sisters, in this first reading, we are given a choice. Of course, we want to live. But how do we live? Choose God. If you connive with the devil, you have just chosen